Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Gemini March 2025 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, Clairvoyant. Great to see you. Boy, I've got a great deck for you this month. I think it's called Star or something. As you know, I just generally throw boxes and papers away, tying the things up with string. So just don't quote me on it. It's got a big star on the back, so I think that might be what it relates to. And it's got some quite interesting esoteric imagery in it, funnily enough, and I might point out one or two things with this pen, but without going overboard so we don't run out of time. Now, you know, don't you, that I, as a clairvoyant, do provide to you, if you want, clairvoyant readings wherever you might be in the world over FaceTime or Skype. And I charge for those. I have to. I've got expenses. They take about an hour and a half. Now, what I do not charge for, and which hundreds of people have taken advantage of through this channel, is the gift of healing. Now, this particular spiritual gift, which comes through me and not from me, as you would understand, was provided to me on the basis that I get nothing in return for it. So it is for free. No strings, no catch. You won't be bombarded with emails at all. And it is, as I say, provided on the basis that I get nothing in return, so it's for free. It's free. And I do people each day. I set aside time each day to do people. If this is calling out to you, you might have some emotional issue. There could be some physical thing. There could be problems with relationships at work. It's a pretty blank slate. It's a method by which the beloved extends its compassion and relief and healing to us. Nothing special about me. I'm just someone through whom it, for some reason or other, seems to work. Now, there are no video advertisements. Now, if this does call out to you, of course, then there are, check out the description in the at the end of the video and just send me an email and we'll take it from there and set up a time that's convenient for you. Now, there are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, and so you get to enjoy the experience direct. And let's have a look to see what there is for you this month. The Nine of Cups. This is Three of Pentacles. What's this? Five of Wands. I always like that Five of Wands. Let's see what it's got to say. King of Cups in connection with these other cards that are around here. And what is there here? Well, there's two. I'll take this one. And there's the Four of Swords. Excellent. Right. Why don't you come and sit down here next to me? I'll bring the camera around. You and I can have a good close look at this really quite beautiful art together while the cosmic energies swirl, and I'll do the reading for you. Here we come for you, entering the most beautiful part of the year, spring in the northern hemisphere, the zodiac starting at 0 degrees Aries on the 21st of March. And let me see what is percolating through to me. A lot of beauty around here. Just while I'm getting the sense of this, do you know, this reminds you of my wife. Beautiful. Beautiful features. Beautiful for her mind, beautiful for the sparkle in her eyes, beautiful for her ability to make other people smile if she was sad. She wasn't beautiful for something as temporary as her looks, but beautiful right through to her soul. She whispered to me one night in our bed, "You are like a god, like an immortal one," as she had her naked body pressed up to mine, our sweat golden and glistening in the dimmed lights. "Oh, my love," I whispered back to her, "I am more mortal than all. It seems that a part of me dies every night that I lie with you." And the next day, she left me. On that day, she was crossing an intersection when somebody whose mind was blasted with ice or some concoction of drugs ran through a red light and hit her, and it was immediate. And later that day, when I had to attend the morgue to identify the body, which I did, I looked at her beautiful features and saw that they were now somewhat diminished. Now, her absence was like the sky spread over everything. Well, it was even worse than that, I suppose, because there was one place where her absence came directly home to me, and it was a place that I could not get away from. And that place was my own body. It then had such a different importance than it had had when it was her lover. But when she had gone, my body was like an empty house. But you know, after she had died, she went on teaching me about loss and grief and about renewal of hope and joy. And it is as if she is speaking now and saying that at the center of the universe is a loving heart that continues to beat and that wants the best for every person. And anything that you can do to help foster the intellect and spirit and emotional growth of your fellow human beings, that is your job. Those of us who have this particular vision must continue against all odds. Life is for service. In any event, I think this has now come together, so let me start with this first card that you drew. And let's have a look at here. These lotuses, they are basically carrying your will and your wishes by these butterflies up to the cosmos, to this representation of the spirit which is granting them and pouring love down upon you. The heart chakra in particular is well opened now. These 9 cups are symmetrically arranged. All is harmony and balance. And this doesn't surprise me here, because in this position, this is the planet of Jupiter ruling the 2nd decan of Pisces, which is the 1st to the 9th of March. Now, Jupiter rules Pisces. You will hear people that say that Neptune does, but I don't believe that for a second. Jupiter is the ruler of Pisces, so there's a very strong complementary energy between the planet of Jupiter coming in and coming into the sign of Pisces. Now, Jupiter's philosophical approach is just coming together really well with Pisces' imagination, emotionality, and spirituality. And also, it has to be said that this is a month of good fortune and success for you, because Jupiter is bringing you good luck and happiness. And Jupiter's more tender concerns, such as care, compassion, and the spiritual life, well, they are beautifully expressed through sensitive Pisces. I think you have an enormous capacity to love and to receive love at present. Although, as is so often the case with this gift, this is obtained after a lot of difficult times in the past, isn't it? But this influence of Jupiter in the sign of Pisces, it is really bringing about for you something more than just feelings of sympathy. There's a great sense of blessedness which is arising from a total joy, and the quality of this joy, it shows that it's deeply rooted. It isn't the result of just some temporary or superficial pleasure. It speaks of bliss, which derives its energy from the deepest reaches of a soul at peace. This is a time when you can relax, breathe, and feel, and if you are alone, enjoy your solitude. And if you are together with other people, enjoy their presence. If you have a job to do it with enthusiasm. And say to yourself, happiness is my natural condition. But nevertheless, there will at the time, I think, and it's nothing that's going to derail you at all, I don't think, but there could be some competition, there could be a few arguments, a few words exchanged. Well, that's just normal, isn't it? Nothing to be afraid of here. What have we got going on in this picture, this energy that we have? Well, look, here is this beautiful night sky, peaceful, which is foretold by this, that's being interrupted for a moment by maybe some words, maybe some competition with someone. The flames are going out everywhere and connecting with this woman who is holding these lilies of purity and creativity, and these wands, the 5 of them, they are sprouting, which goes to show that the 5 senses are highly attuned, and this green cloak is one of creativity and beauty for you. Actually, I also see financial success around here with that color as well. But the astrology is that of Saturn. Saturn in the first decan of Leo. Now, the thing is that Saturn and Leo basically have a problem with one another. You see, the Sun is the ruler of Leo, and Leo is diametrically opposed to Aquarius on the zodiac wheel, and Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. And Aquarius, of course, in classical terms, is the furthest planet away from the Sun. So they are in opposition to each other, and it's a difficult aspect in astrology, but all is not lost. Now, Leo, of course, is a fire sign, and in this suit of wands, there's a fire suit, and there's number 5. I have a mystical association with the planet of Mars as well, so there's fire, energy, fire, and Saturn comes into the picture and wants to rain on the parade. And also with this numerology of 5 here, I see a sort of an instability, changes, some exaggeration even at times. This is signifying in some respect a general condition in which the creative power of the lion of Leo is blocked by Saturn, because the free flow of energy, it is straining to find the possibility for expression. And so, bang, you might feel there's a bit of a burden, or bang, things might build up and the dam burst. You might find that you're in the middle of a conflict, a tension, an argument with somebody. And this is, in a way, you might think, impacting upon your ability to move things forward. I think that this 5 here is perhaps pointing to competition with someone who's got similar qualities, experiences, or attractiveness to you. And now is a time when you're being called on to fight, in a way. This in this sort of a situation, the danger of resigning yourself, of giving up, is great. But with Saturn in the picture here, it is reminding you that all things have got to be taken care of step by step, and don't let yourself become overwhelmed. Always look again to the flames of this volcano which pour on despite any impediments. But the fact is that with this card here being in the center, it is unmistakable to me that this is a sign that you are ready to face the situation and to do something about it. Now, it's interesting for me that this is a woman that's in the center of the card here, because it seems to me that competition, envy, and judgment, they're at the basis. They're the base of all issues between women. Very often, many of these issues have something to do with a man. Now, as between, well, look, this is for the men involved. If you have an argument with a woman, you've lost. As soon as you start, you have lost. It's impossible to win. And it's not productive to seek to defeat a woman in an argument. The thing is, you see, there is an old saying, and it's been around for so long because it's true, and it is, happy wife, happy life. That is true. But when you get into an argument, what happens is it's the ego which is doing the arguing, where you want to win. Now, for the men, I've got to tell you, even if you win, you lose. So it's your ego that is saying, I've got to win. Now, of course, this is terrible for relationships. It's terrible for intimacy. You will bring down the fire of hell upon yourself in any event. And really, this is also saying for the gentleman here that the better course of action, whether you are right or wrong, is to take the woman's hand and say, do you know what? You're right, I'm wrong, I apologize. Discretion is the better part of valor. Let the woman carry the day, because if you don't, you will suffer the rest of your life. Now, there's really, Mars is around again, but in a very constructive manner, I must say. And you see, this is going to be a very successful month for you. What we have here, which looks like it could well be a creation goddess. These things here might refer to a trinity or to the three gunas in the Hindu tradition. Here is the shell of the turtle, the Mother Earth, this stands for. Turtles come to the earth to give birth, to lay eggs rather, and then they return to the sea. And here are 3 eggs that are being stored there, which is your spirit, your body, and your mind being protected and taken through via this rainbow into the divinity. And good luck coming to you from the cosmos, from the divinity, and spilling over from Jupiter as well. This is Mars in the 2nd decan of Capricorn, and that's the 3rd to the 12th of January, incidentally. Now, Mars here is really expressing its... The good thing about this is that Mars is exalted in Capricorn, which means it can do its work extremely productively. It's not aggressive, it's not destructive, it's at its best. And here we see, therefore, that this is going to benefit your material life. Capricorn Capricorn has a great deal of material interest associated with it, and combined with the activity of Mars, this is really signifying, I think, for you that investing time and effort in work, however broadly you might be a professional homemaker, you could be a professional in some other area, you could be doing whatever work it is that you're doing. If you're investing time in it, it is going to be rewarded. And here we have a gradual progress. You'll also have increased self-confidence, I see, and there's a real duty to yourself. There is work satisfaction around here, and you're going to be doing a good job. There's a continued progression and productivity. Maybe you'll be consulting with other people. You might be getting advice. You may be providing advice to other people. Your whole being is going to be needed, though. I'm looking at these three here and these three here. These eggs symbolizing the body, mind, and spirit, none of these three can be left out. Only through their combined and balanced use will you see visible results. This is with this sun figure coming up here. But do you know your unshakable determination in the work and to the work that you have begun is going to give you the power to overcome any temporary doubts. This is assuring your gradual progress. It's as if now you've really got, before you've had plans, but now you've really got the direction in which to head. And this is providing, as a result, great outcomes for career, business projects, and practical matters in general. You'll have the ability to stick with things and overcome obstacles. And this really is the time to set your sail, pull the spinnaker up and let the wind fill it, because it's blue skies ahead. And, oh, excuse me, I just bashed my head on that. Now, the need to get stuck into something is here. But look, if you press grapes, wine will pour out. If you crush roses, perfume will pour out. And you, Gemini, if you press the talented, then your genius will pour out. And I don't have to remind you, because it may well be that there are discussions in connection with this that you also have with things going on with this, which are involving your progress forward and what may appear to be a wall to you. Now, the first thing I'll say is this, is that walls exist really only in your mind, and they are a product of your past experience only and how you perceive the world, which very often is just wrong. But walls are not meant to keep you out. They are meant to test you, to see how badly you want something. Walls keep out people who don't want the thing badly enough. Now, I know I shouldn't have to tell you this, but I know that you know this already. So it is a test to see the level of your commitment and desire and will, and you have that in spades. But you might ask yourself this question: in what areas do you still hold yourself back? In which areas could you be giving more of your energies and determination? Find out and remain aware of, and write down in one tangible, concrete sentence what you want. And then put the steps together to get to it and set your full energies towards achieving it. And say to yourself, I am now ready to give everything and to receive everything. Yeah, fantastic. There might be some time that you take out for some personal reflection. Anyway, any aggravation and everything, you do take time out from it, or get away from it, or it's resolved, is what I'm seeing here. The issues that were concerning you get resolved. Now, you've got a problem with someone coming around there, I think. But let us look. Here we have, what is that, a man or a woman? No breasts, it must be a woman lying asleep inside a sort of a cave in the snow, which is falling. There's a fish which deals with wisdom in the lake here. These bears are protecting you. And these swords pointing down are showing rest. And they are also showing spirit, emotion, body, and mind, I think, working together now to bring you success and abundance. Now, why do I say that? This is Jupiter. You know, we saw Jupiter up here. It's still with you, of course, all throughout this month, this time in Libra, the 14th to the 22nd of October, the third decade of Libra. Well, Libra tries to find balance in your life, and the Jupiter is giving you a period of rest, I think, from what possibly was a difficult situation, as well as opening your mind's flexibility, which is needed to resolve and tie off conflicts. Jupiter is also allowing you to move on from things, and I think that this combination here is going to give you some peace and rest from maybe things to do with this energy here. You'll find that, notwithstanding the temporary things that I mentioned there, that this is actually a period of determination, productivity, and clarity and calmness. Maybe even some sort of a spiritual cleansing here. A recuperation is what I see. This is a good atmosphere for the rose of recognition to unfold and to expand, is what I see here. Now, Jupiter, of course, it's bringing into your life still the qualities of joy and expansion, and whatever may have seemed hopeless to you, maybe at a time or maybe with a wall that shows up, this actually contains within it, this is saying, and you'll discover it because it's also dealing with your mind. This is saying that this issue is containing within itself all of the elements for a good and prosperous solution here. And then finally, I just want to deal quickly with this king. I won't go into the imagery you can take from it. It's all quite straightforward, I think. What is important, of course, is the king is fire and cups, of course, are water. And water and fire are just a disaster with each other. So this is someone, could be male or female, incidentally, who you probably know or you're going to have some contact with. Now, interestingly, they come across as somebody who's quite contented and who's very happy with themselves. And that does radiate outward from them to other people emotionally. However, they can be very uncertain of themselves, and there's someone who really has, as a result of deep underlying problems, which is fire and water, there's almost like a mental instability going on there. Someone who has trouble really nailing down the requirements for love and relationships. They have periods of self-doubt and they need reassurance from other people. Now, they can sit around very often with lacking inspiration, which you probably see to be laziness. And it's not actually a laziness. It's them, like the male lion, which does nothing until it needs to. They don't do anything until they see an opportunity that they want to grab hold of, and then they spring into action. But someone who's very insecure and needs constant reassurance from you. It does have some effect on you emotionally, I think. There may be some sort of a betrayal around, so just be aware of that. You see, the truly scary thing about undiscovered lies is that they have a greater capacity to diminish us than those lies which are exposed, because they tend to chip away at and erode our strength, our self-esteem, our very foundation. This might be someone whom you think has gone silent on you. Well, such silence has an actual sound. It is the sound of disappearance. Now, they are somebody who does have great interest in physical relationships. But with such a person here, it is better to lock up your heart with a merciless padlock than fall in love with someone who doesn't know what they mean to you. And sometimes, of course, and this is, well, ladies in general will, well, this is something that will be of interest to ladies in general, whether straight or gay, that, look, here's the thing. Earthquakes just happen. Tornadoes just happen. This guy's tongue does not just happen to fall into some other woman's mouth. And such a person can provide, as I say, emotional pain. Look, nobody ever killed themselves over a broken arm, but every day thousands of people kill themselves because of a broken heart. Why? Because emotional pain hurts much worse than physical pain, doesn't it? Now, there's probably something I'll say this probably in final character assassination of this person is that this is somebody who believes that life and all the people in it are there for the taking, and that everybody deserves happiness no matter what the cost. Well, remember that if ever you decide to have your soul surgically removed. What a wonderful month for you. Great set of cards. Made so much better for you being here. Extremely interesting artwork, wouldn't you say? Beautiful, I think. Now, unless I see you in the meantime, either for a clairvoyant reading or for healing, then I'll see you here again next month. Until then, though, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.